Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and happy Saturday morning. My name is Mark.
And I'm Anna.
And today we decided that this would be the day that we do the lessons learned video.
We've only been talking about it for how many weeks now? So today's the day.
Here it is. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. I do have my cheat sheet right here because I'm just not that smart. So I need my cheat sheet. I had to write them out just to get them out in front of me to where I can read them. That way it's just not endless ramblings.
Let's get into it. Number one.
Planting 2 cloves. Oops, I was reading the wrong side.
Well, okay, so here's just a little behind the scenes. We wrote them the way that they came to our brains, which was kind of in the negative light, like what we did wrong. And then we rewrote them on this side as a positive. So the first one that we have written down
in the negative is planting too close together.
In the positive,
using correct spacing. Very nice.
Hey.
Point is true. That when we first put in the garden, just lack of experience, we put things way too close together. Our potatoes were kind of crowding on top of each other, so it was just this pile of tomato bush, you know.
And the onions were,
yep.
I mean, I didn't even know I needed to separate them. So that was a huge rookie mistake.
Yeah, just maybe going off of the back of the seed label would be a good place to start, but using the correct spacing for sure.
Yes.
2.
Number 2.
On the positive, using the right compost. And in our case, we used horse manure just because it was free and it came from up the road. And I just thought that'd be perfect. But there's 3 problems with that. 1, it was unseasoned compost. What that means is it hasn't had a chance to age or whatever. So the weed seed that is in there that came off of the pasture is going to go straight into our garden.
It grew right along with all of our produce.
Yes, and so we fought weeds a lot. The second problem with using horse manure in this case is that they got it from cleaning out stalls, which means it had a lot of sawdust or wood chips or shavings in there. How we did this is when we first put in the beds, we did a layer of horse manure / wood chips and incorporated it with the rototiller. And I later found out that decomposing wood ties up nitrogen.
That was actually the inspiration for one of the videos you may have seen, which was how to combat yellowing plants, because that was kind of our issue with that. Yeah.
So it just ties it up, so it's not available for our plants. Nitrogen is part of the decomposition process of wood. So all the nitrogen was being used in that way instead of for the plants. The third problem with the horse manure is actually that the horses have a very efficient digestive system. So what was coming out in form of manure was not actually very nutritious for the soil, if I can say that.
It's like the real waste product. There's no more nutrients left in it. It's
right.
Straight up waste product.
Yep. So using a animal's manure that has a much less efficient digestive system would be better. Like chickens or cows or whatever, not horses.
Not horses.
In our case, the second lesson was using the correct compost, and we didn't do that. Third lessons learned. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Preach.
What does that mean?
Do you want me to explain the saying? Or are you asking about it in this garden scenario? Yes. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And that is referring to the weeds specifically. That ties into the compost too, because having all the correct kind of compost, then you're not going to have all those seeds in there that are growing out of your compost. What I learned was if you take care of them quickly, broccoli and a little bit at a time, then you don't get overwhelmed with all these beds that need to be completely weeded and like pulled everything out.
The fourth lesson that we learned this year: know the signs of ripeness.
Yes.
So we had several issues this year with like the cucumbers and the broccolis,
the cauliflower.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff is
the watermelon.
Knowing when do we pick this stuff. You know, we harvested some cucumbers that looked great, and we sliced them and started eating them, and they were very bitter, just gross. Doing your homework before you plant, I think would be the best thing, not only for the spacing, which would be our first lesson, but also the signs of ripeness.
I think specifically of the broccoli and the cauliflower, because I saw it one day and I was like, oh, that looks great. Like, that looks like what I would get in a store, right? And my thought was, oh, it will just get bigger and more ripe, you know, and I can come and get it later. But 2 days later, it was past its picking time, and we still picked it and ate some of it, but it was just past that prime. So I wish I had known what it looked like, or that I only had a short period of time to pick it in its prime.
This is our fifth and final lessons learned of Garden 2020 on this homestead. Number 5.
Number 5.
Not everything is easy to grow. That sounds pretty simple, and it is, but it was a lesson that things are a little bit more involved than just putting a seed in the ground, watering it, and you reap your harvest. Yeah. That our watermelons, for example, we fought pest problems. I think we planted a watermelon 3 different times, and each, except for this last one, each time they got dug up and eaten.
Well, even the first one that we planted, only part of them germinated. And then once they germinated, they got eaten by critters, presumably squirrels or something. They weren't as easy to grow as we thought they would be. In my head, like, you put it in the ground, you water it, it comes up, and you harvest it. But it's not that easy.
That's the art of gardening, and that's something that's acquired, I suppose. Gosh, I guess that's it. That was our 5 lessons learned. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and maybe learned something for your own use. If you have any suggestions or anything, let us know in the comments. That we do read those and see what you guys say. But anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna take these lessons that we learned this year just in this, you know, condensed form, and just take these simple things with us to our new home in Tennessee, and we are going to really implement them there. And I'm excited to see the progress that we make in our next garden.
It's true. Yep. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Until the next video.